Thank you for choosing Access on Demand. We're the fastest growing home health technology company, helping improve care for more than 1.5 million patients and trusted by more than 7,000 healthcare organizations to grow their business. Access is a firm believer in continuing training, and we create content so you can learn and grow anywhere, anytime. Let's get started.
Thank you for joining the OAS CAHPS Survey Improvement Strategies presentation. My name is Susanna Welch. I'm the research coordinator on the patient engagement team here at Access, and I'll be giving the presentation today. So first we'll review how to optimize your survey scores on the OAS CAHPS survey, reviewing first how to optimize your rate of survey response, and moving then to how to best attain positive survey feedback from your patients. And we'll move on then to look at the staff contributions based on the individual roles at your facility and how each staff member can contribute to bettering your scores on the survey. So the two components to consider as they're highly involved in optimizing your survey results are the rate of survey response, which is the number of completed surveys out of all of the patients sampled to receive a survey. This is important because the more surveys you have completed from your patients, the more feedback you're going to have on how you can improve the quality of care provided. And the second component is positive feedback, and this is simply positive responses to survey questions provided by your patients. So first, we'll look at optimizing your rate of response. Best practices to facilitate high survey responses include alerting patients about the survey, as is permitted by CMS, and we will review authorized versus unauthorized communication, minimizing the use of other surveys, familiarizing patients with your facility's name and identity, and addressing any facility DBA names that you have if it's applicable. Alerting patients about the survey. So HOPDs and ASCs may provide written or verbal information about the survey to patients prior to the surgery or procedure, such as in welcome packets or advanced paperwork provided to the patient, or after the surgery or procedure, like in discharge instructions given to the patient. Alerting patients about the survey. So permissible information to provide to your patients includes that your facility is participating in OAS CAHPS, that the purpose of the survey is to learn about the quality of health care that the patient received, that the patient may be selected to participate in the survey, and the anticipated mode of contact that may be used, so mail and/or telephone. The next best practice to optimize your rate of survey response is minimizing the use of other surveys. So administering multiple surveys concurrently, such as the OAS CAHPS survey, as well as some sort of internal patient survey that you may be administering, can lower your rate of response because patients may experience survey fatigue or become confused when they're asked to participate in multiple surveys for one facility. So this isn't to say that you cannot administer other surveys internally concurrently with the OAS CAHPS survey. However, it's important to understand that administering multiple surveys within your facility may result in a lowered response rate. We highly recommend utilizing the OAS CAHPS survey responses to improve operations where your agency may have before been using an internal survey for these purposes. The Access CAHPS portal provides a multitude of reports and widgets that allow you to intuitively track your survey performance, so we highly recommend logging in regularly so that you can utilize the OAS CAHPS survey for quality improvement purposes where you may have been using before an internal survey for these purposes. The next best practice we have to optimize your survey rates of response includes familiarizing patients with your facility name and identity and to brand your organization so that upon being contacted, your patients are able to recognize the name of your facility. If they do not recognize your organization as a facility where they received a procedure, then they are not able to participate in the survey, and thus your survey responses will lower drastically. We'll go over more in depth what each agency staff member can do in order to thoroughly brand your organization and ensure that patients are familiar with your organization's name and identity. However, a few examples right now include disseminating business cards, distributing refrigerator magnets, pamphlets, and things like that during welcome and discharge that can ensure that your patients know your agency. And the final best practice that we have listed here is to address DBA names if it's applicable. If your facility's official name differs from its most commonly used name when doing business, simply inform your patient engagement success coach of the appropriate name that we should use when administering surveys to your patients. This, of course, won't be applicable to all facilities. However, if it is, it's important that the appropriate name is used so that patients, again, will understand that the survey is applicable to your organization. We'll move on now to best practices to foster positive survey responses from your patients. So first, company-wide OAS CAHPS survey education, understanding staff role contributions, identifying areas of improvement using the Access CAHPS portal reports, providing patient-centered care, and of course ensuring efforts to improve care are continuous and ongoing. Patient-centered care should be the most primary goal of all personnel at your facility, and meeting each patient's needs and providing the best care possible is the foundation necessary to attain the best CAHPS survey performance. Improving your ASC or HOPD should be a continuous and ongoing process, and all of your staff should be fully engaged in creating and maintaining a patient-centric environment. Patients will be much more likely to participate in the survey if they've had an outstanding experience with your organization, and thus not only your response rates will increase, but your positive survey responses will increase as well. We'll move on now to the staff contributions by role. So it's important for each staff member at your agency to understand what he or she should contribute to the betterment of your OAS CAHPS survey scores based specifically on his or her role at your organization. So what are your takeaways from this presentation based specifically on your role at the organization? All staff member roles should understand how you're being graded as an organization by the OAS CAHPS survey. So each staff member should be familiar with the OAS CAHPS survey questions and should also be familiar with how to facilitate positive response rates to those questions. For instance, question number 2 asks whether or not, before the patient's procedure, a doctor or anyone from the facility gave the patient easy-to-understand instructions about getting ready for the procedure. So for instance, all staff members should understand that in order to receive a positive response to this question, the patient must receive easy-to-understand instructions prior to the procedure. The same can be said about any of the survey questions. So just ensure that each staff member at your agency is familiar with the OAS CAHPS survey questions and is equipped with the information to facilitate positive responses to those questions. Next, all staff member roles should know why OAS CAHPS survey performance is important to you as an organization. So ensure that staff members understand that poor performance on the survey will affect the organization and will result in a more negative standing in the industry, and ensure that your staff members understand that survey performance is being reported publicly to any consumers or potential partners in the industry. So promote the importance of the OAS CAHPS survey throughout your organization and ensure that staff members understand outstanding performance will lead to an outstanding reputation in the industry. Next, all staff member roles should know how the facility is performing on the OAS CAHPS survey. So while it isn't important for every single staff member to have the ability to log into the Access CAHPS portal, it is recommended that the staff members that are able to log in do communicate this information throughout the facility. So all staff members should understand the areas that need improvement in your facility and should be familiar with the action that's being taken to improve these areas. So it's a best practice to add all of your agency leadership to the Access CAHPS portal to log in to view the reports, and then you can periodically, for instance, through email, send updates on how your agency is performing on a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, however you choose is best for your facility. But it is important that all staff member roles are on the same page as far as what needs improving. On that same note, it's important for all staff member roles to understand how the facility is performing in categories that are particularly relevant to the individual's role. For example, the About Facilities and Staff composite contains questions that are specific to the helpfulness and courtesy or respect of facility clerks and receptionists. Therefore, these staff members should be particularly mindful of the facility's performance on this composite and should understand exactly how they should facilitate positive survey responses based on what the questions are asking. Next, we'll review the leadership roles and what staff contributions leadership can bring to your facility's scores improvement. Leadership roles should set the tone and provide examples of a genuine patient-centered care focus at your facility. So not only is it important to provide survey questionnaire education throughout your agency, but also to provide examples of patient-centric care and really making the patient the focus of your facility's work. We recommend that you make the survey questionnaire available for all staff members to view. Some examples are posting the survey in a break room, a lobby, or anywhere else at your organization where you think a lot of staff members will view it regularly. This can also mean disseminating the survey questions via email or electronically otherwise, Just ensure that staff members do have a copy of the survey that's readily accessible to them and are keeping it top of mind. It's very important for leadership roles to identify CAHPS primary contacts. These individuals should be added to the Access CAHPS portal to log in anytime and will be the 2 points of contact that the patient engagement success coach will reach out to with any CAHPS-related matters should it be necessary. So again, we have here that identifying at least 2 CAHPS contacts is highly recommended. However, many facilities choose to add more, and please feel free not to limit your facility to just 2, but add as many CAHPS contacts to the Access CAHPS portal as you feel necessary. This is also important to ensure that any electronic notifications are transmitted to the correct individuals and that we have multiple points of contact should we need to reach someone about any CAHPS-related issues. Leadership roles should identify areas of improvement using the CAHPS portal reports, and again should communicate this information to all agency staff members. So again, as we reviewed before, logging into the CAHPS portal isn't essential for every single staff member at your facility, but it is important that this information is shared throughout your facility, so whomever logs into the CAHPS portal should then communicate this information agency-wide. Leadership should also ensure that the appropriate training and support is provided to agency staff, and ensure that staff members are equipped to target areas of improvement that are communicated to them. So, in addition to communicating which areas need to be better on the CAHPS survey, agency leadership should also provide the appropriate training on how to better these areas. Next, leadership should communicate with your facility's designated patient engagement success coach. Remember that our team of patient engagement specialists is available to you, and we're eager to answer any questions you may have and to provide the support that you need to facilitate outstanding OAS CAHPS survey performance. So if ever you have any questions or concerns regarding the survey or your performance on the survey, please don't hesitate to reach out to your patient engagement success coach via email or phone so that we can discuss how we can truly get through any difficulties that you're having and facilitate outstanding performance. Next, we'll review office and intake staff roles. So importantly, office and intake staff should understand their role in alerting patients about the survey. It's also important that office and intake staff roles understand the importance of maintaining consistency from patient to patient. So whatever message is provided to one patient regarding the possibility of receiving a survey should then be verbalized or provided across all patients. Office and intake staff roles should also ensure that they're helpful and responsive when patients contact your office. So it's highly recommended that when welcoming patients to your organization to receive a procedure, that they're receiving contact information should they need to reach out to you, and ensure that patients feel like they can reach out with any questions or concerns. Clinical roles. Clinical roles should recognize the direct relationship between the survey questions and the care provided. For instance, clinical staff should ask themselves, are there any survey questions that are not addressed in their procedures? For example, question 11 asks whether the process of giving anesthesia was explained in a way that was easy to understand. So any clinical roles that are involved in the anesthesia process, as outlined in the question, should ensure that they're going to the necessary links to guarantee that the patients can understand this process. So along the way, patients should be asked if they understand, if they have any questions, to really ensure that the patient feels like the staff member is acting as a helpful resource and is truly understanding what the clinical staff is communicating. And clinical roles, along with all the other staff members at the agency, should engage in open communication with other agency staff about the OAS CAHPS survey to help further foster a collaborative and patient-centered environment. Additional resources with information on the OAS CAHPS survey include the OAS CAHPS survey official website, which is oascaps.org, the Access CAHPS help page, and access.com/OASCAHPS. Thank you for joining the OAS CAHPS Survey Improvement Strategies presentation today. We know that your time is valuable and are happy that you chose to spend it with Access. For additional information or support, please contact your patient engagement success coach or contact Access Client Support at 1-866-795-5900 or via email at support@access.com. For additional training, please visit access.com/ondemand.
Thank you for joining our on-demand training today and for choosing Access, a provider of innovative, cloud-based software, services, and solutions to help home health organizations improve patient care and grow their business. Access is the only healthcare technology company approved to award continuing education credits by the American Nurses Credentialing Center and is also the most recommended home health software on Software Advice. You can watch more on-demand training videos through our software or at access.com, where you can also find tutorials, blogs, white papers, and answers to frequently asked questions. Thanks again for choosing Access.